on campaigns, but that is not what is here. So that's why did you put this document together
Yes.
yourself?
Yes, I did.
Because what's here
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I'm.
Okay, so if you
I'm.
did put this together, I think we might not be giving you the chance to explain yourself. So how are you going to enhance the capacity of healthcare facilities in Ghana?
Please, I'm very happy you actually brought about this, and
Yeah.
I would make sure that I'll be able to review my
Oh
policy
no no
because
no no no. As of now, we are this is the only platform that Ghanaian students, of course, will get to hear what you have to offer them. The truth is that I am a student leader myself at the national level. After I went through vetting, I can count the number of people who have asked for one policy documents. Just about three of them throughout the year. And so hardly will anyone come to ask for you to give them this document. That is why you need to explain for them to understand. And then if they buy into your ideas, they vote for you. So how are you going to enhance healthcare facilities in Ghana as NUGS Women Secretary for Women Development?
okay. I believe that this platform is also a platform for teaching. And what I actually meant to say was I would be able to back on campaign awareness, place the country, to donate contraceptives to less privileged females in the country needed. Because I've had conversations with females surrounding me, and they practice very harmful abortions, and then the rate of teenage pregnancies in the countries have actually and then teenage pregnancy in the countries in the past years have actually risen up drastically, and I feel like it's very unnecessary. And if we are able to educate women on contraceptives and family planning and make them understand that it is their body, and then them to want to have babies at a particular point in time, and having babies shouldn't be a stand block in their career and their dreams and their entire endeavors. I'll be able to speak with them and let them understand the concept of contraceptives. And I also believe that this will also help the United Nations, especially third sustainable development. That I believe that with this, we'll be able to add up to the UN's Sustainable Development Goals
goals and there?
three, which speaks about health. And I believe that it is unnecessary for a lot of females in the country to actually be to actually be affected in their entire life just because of harmful pregnancies. Do
So,
not actually know.
Freya, all what you said, I just decided to allow you flow so that at least we get to understand what you meant and not what you typed here. But it's all summed into your second point. You've already mentioned that you're going to do that.
Since I said I
So
believe that
that one is not true.
I
It's
believe
something
that
that is it feasible?
and I believe that this
Is it
platform
feasible as
I
Secretary
believe
for
that the
Women
platform is
Development?
a place for
You are not answering my questions. You are setting your own questions. Is it feasible that as Secretary for Women's Development, you can enhance the capacity of healthcare facilities in Ghana? Is it feasible?
yes, it is
You know,
feasible.
our president is on an agenda to build 101 hospitals. How far have we gotten with that? Are you aware? Do you have the statistics on that?
When it comes to rural,
Okay. Can we do that?
Do you
Can
have
we
the
do that?
stats? You don't. Do you
Yeah.
have the stats?
I believe that I will be able to convince the government. I'll be able to.
No, but what you are doing is not fair.
Do you have the stats? Okay. Are you wearing a black suit?
Yes.
Yes. Do you have the
Wearing a
stats?
green suit.
No.
Do you have the stats? How would that and
You put policy that
Yes.
so what actually
exercising government authority can do. Because when it comes to the incentives, you say you take the political party, people in political parties, and give it to politics. I mean, so you go to the chairman of the New Patriotic Party, collect money from him, and give it to who? The NDC as incentive. I think you need to come again.
I will be able to add.
You want to respond?
Yes, I will be able to advocate, create awareness, and then speak to females, political females, so that they can actually see the reasons why, and to help me embark on
I
this
think
journey.
your whole understanding of this role is hinged on your relationship with certain persons in politics.
No, because I've actually, let's take the Parliament House for instance. Let's take Parliament House in Ghana for instance. The number of females who are parliamentarians are just 40 members in Parliament House. And then currently, I feel like, I believe that the rate of sexual abuse and abuses towards females are actually very high in the country.
You see,
And
you
I
set your own question. What you're saying is brilliant, but it's your own question. What you're saying is brilliant, but it's your own question. I mean,
Because
we are asking you questions from your
you're
point of
going
view.
towards advocacy
You're
on
just
sexual
asking
harassment.
and giving your own.
That's not what I've asked you. I've asked you what you've written here. And I'm telling you that you have no capacity to strengthen legislation. You can only do advocacy at best. You have no capacity to provide incentives to political parties. I mean, how much do we raise as dues for NUGS? And then you say the solution to it is to collect money from persons in politics to give back to political parties. I mean, in my view, your policies are, I don't think you wrote them yourself. Because when we give you the opportunity to speak, you say something entirely different from what exactly is here. Honestly, you didn't write them yourself. It's either AI generated or someone else wrote
This is
them
not
for
AI.
you.
This is someone.
But this is not even AI generated because the language is not AI generated.
We know AI
Someone
language.
wrote them for you. The person who wrote these things for you is inclined to national politics.
And unfortunately, you did not read it. If you are smart, what you're supposed to do, you are not supposed to write the policy yourself if you think you are not good with writing. But you're supposed to read, understand, and align with it. You have no idea what is in the document. We ask you a question from the document, and you're giving us a different answer.
You want to increase support to healthcare facilities.
It's okay.
Let me sway you from the policies you have in here and take you to the constitutions. At least you know the duties of the Women's Commission, right? And so, as stipulated in the Constitution, what are some of the duties of the Women's Commission?
Thank you. I should be able to create a link between female students in Ghana and female students in abroad to enable them share ideas, enable them share ideas and create a platform for them to connect. I should be able to help female students in tertiary institutions to embark on their entire endeavors. I should be able to campaign against discrimination and abuse against females in tertiary institutions through legal protests.
Okay. And so when you take that of Article 18, I'm sure you know there are blocks we have in blocks.
Yes.
Can you mention to us about 4 of them?
Okay. We have the USAG, we have TAG, we have BRASAG, we have NASAG, we have NASAG.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I am very happy you have mentioned TAG. You mentioned TAG. Do you know TAG? Do you know TAG?
Yes.
What is it?
Teacher Training Associations of Ghana.
And so you know you've been working with them.
Yes.
Now, glancing through your policies, nothing has been captured for the block. Is there any reason to it? And then even with your forms, the endorsement of your forms, the people who endorse them, I'm not seeing any of the heads in the colleges of education? Is it to tell you are going to neglect the block?
No.
And so what happened? Because I know, if not looking at the distance of where the colleges of education are situated, it may be difficult for you to travel in there. As far as I'm concerned, Accra College of Education is very, very close to Legon. And so I was expecting to see the endorsement of the SRC president for Accra College of Education, but it is not yet. Can you speak to it? And looking at your policies, there is nothing that captures anything for the people of that. And so I wanted to know, is there any reason? You've been asked quite a number of questions, and so I don't want to. And so, is there anything you could say about it? Or you are going to review their policies once again to capture them?
Thank you very much. I would definitely be working with them, but I believe that as a female, I do not have the capacity to actually I do not have the capacity to cover all the problems concerning females in the country, and that is why I have actually specified and written policies on those that I think that I will be to embark on.
You are always setting questions for yourself, but that's fine. You let me take you. Give me three aims. You know there are aims and objectives of the union in every institution, even that of LEG, right?
Yes,
Do you know the aims and objectives of this union you would want to serve in?
yes.
And so, as stipulated in Article 10, the new constitution, mentioned to us three aims and objectives of the union.
The union, the union the union is supposed to back on um, activities. The union has the interest of the students in the country. The union has the interest of the students in the country, and then the union has the interest of the students in the country. The union also has the aim of being a front
Can you
line
start
against.
again? Can you start again? Because we all didn't
Say again.
understand.
Say again. The first aim,
We all didn't understand the first aim.
the one you mentioned earlier. Say again.
The union has the interest of the students in the
That-
country,
Okay, continue.
and the union is the front line against discrimination and abuse against students in the country too.
Okay, thank you.
So my final question really is on. Okay, you.
Okay. Madam, thank you so much. Please, before I start, there's one thing I want you to know. You in your responses, you come and you believe. There's a difference between believing and the reality. I want the reality. I want the reality to know what you believe in. Okay. And then I'm just going straight to your policy. You are saying that you are going to train healthcare providers. You are going to use as the WUCOM is going to train healthcare providers on contraceptive counseling, men and their safe administration. Are you saying that a qualified healthcare provider, has not gotten all these qualities you are talking of? Is that what you are saying? Because I think guidelines and then really that where you are strengthening healthcare systems. Point I. Point I rather. Train healthcare providers on contraceptive counseling methods and their safe administration. Are you saying that healthcare providers in the various health institutions or facilities don't know this? You as a WUCOM is now coming to train them on how to on the counseling methods of contraceptives There are methods and then there are safe administration. What you are saying?
No.
No, but then can you elaborate that particular point?
Answer. Answer.
I will be able to. I will providers
to educate female students on contraceptives and family planning. On contraceptives and family planning.
You are going to train them on contraceptives and family planning. Is that what you're saying?
He didn't hear, so repeat exactly. He didn't hear, so repeat
The question
exactly
is
what
this.
you said.
I'm just repeating what is in your document. You are saying that you train healthcare providers on contraceptive counseling, methods, and their safe administration. And I'm telling you
What
that
she said.
I'm getting a little bit confused. Whether a professional healthcare provider doesn't know all this, then you as a book
Repeat
actually train
exactly
them
what you said.
on the contraceptive
I
counseling
will
method
be
and
able-
safe administration.
I will be able to liaise with healthcare providers to educate females across the country on how to use contraceptives.
Liaising with someone is different from training the person, and you are being specific on what you are training them on. Are you getting what I'm telling you? Because if you are coming, we have the family planning unit as part of the facility, the health facilities, and this is their work. And if you as a program is now going to that facility to train the person on contraceptive administration and then a safety involved, okay, then you are saying that you're going to subsidize or provide contraceptives free of charge for women, especially those living in poverty. That's what you are saying. Do you know the price of contraceptives in the health facility? Are they free or they are being sold in the health facility? Contraceptives at the family planning unit. They are free. So if they are free, why would you tell me you are coming to subsidize it?
But the contraceptive pills are free. They are being sold.
Really? At the facility, the contraceptive pills are being sold. Is that what you are telling me?
In pharmacies.
I'm asking you a question. We are dealing with health facilities. These are the people you are targeting because you are seeing the
You're on
strength
the
of
right
healthcare
path.
systems. And these healthcare systems are not pharmacies, right? We have the healthcare, the pharmacy there, but we are talking about pharmacies where the sell contraceptives is different. But you as a lookum, if you are looking for avenues where they make you can communicate the burden on ladies or women who are students for NUGS VETTIng. So I'm asking you, at the health facility, the public why don't you tell us that maybe you need to this population their families to educate them more that they can come for them to free of and you are saying that you're going to subsidize contraceptives free of charge for women.
Because some contraceptives are being it's not some in some rural areas they actually access to the facilities that provide free contraceptives and the family planning methods to the people in the rural areas, and so therefore they have pharmacies in these rural areas, and these pharmacies sell the contraceptives to people. So I'm saying that I should be able to seek for funds from leaders, philanthropists, and then liaise with NGOs to provide contraceptives to the people, to educate them on contraceptives, family planning, and why they should be able to go to public sectors in their societies that provide free contraceptives and family planning for them. And some of the ladies that actually do not have access to these family planning in their societies, that have pharmacies there, and those pharmacies sell it to the people. I'm saying that I should be able to liaise with NGOs and provide funds.
So I just want to add something. You get me confused alongside. because all the facilities I'm also from a rural area, and I've seen people going there to access and then have access to contraceptives free of charge. So if you are telling me that there are pharmacies at those rural areas, and you are now going to lace with corporate bodies to raise money and to educate people to go to societies where I think that you should have been telling us that we are going to lace that they can make the contraceptives available at the health facilities that are at their disposal, not to get money from corporate bodies, now to educate them to move to societies. It's not tangible. It's theoretical but not practical.
Thank you. Please be outside. I have so much to tell you. I think we've learned a lot today. And you know what we are talking about. And you know the truth. You are discharged. Thank you.
Don't go with that way.
Wait, I'm coming. Oh,
You have allowed him to touch you like that.
oh, I didn't touch her. All right.
Please, the next person.
Please fix the thing. Oh, let me. Are you okay? I mean,
Good afternoon, esteemed panel. Good afternoon, esteemed panel. How do you do? How do you do? I really do. Okay. I really do. I like it. This is over here with Please introduce yourself to us. My name is Sandra Talata Mabel. I'm the Women's Commission. Talata Mabel.
I've never heard that one, but you're my uncle.
Mabel. Yes. Talata means Tuesday. That's my name. And Mabel means young mother.
Sandra, Aduna, your mother.
And the Dobio means young gun or small gun.
So you're here to shoot us.
So Abuna, young mother,
The young man.
yeah. Ready to shoot.
Are you a warrior?
Of course.
Hey.
My name is Sandra Talata Mabel. I'm the Game Power Women's Commissioner. I'm from the Upper East region of Ghana, Bogatanga. I've been to Ghana for in the year 2017. I was the fourth runner. I've been representing
level in Ghana. I'm currently done with. I was previously at Korea Technical University where I studied public administration, and I was the first PRO for the Institute of Distance Studies. Yeah, thank you.
And that's all we should know about.
That's foundation. We are in women advocacy. Take me through your goals. My first policy is the mega mentorship drive. What is mentorship? Mentorship is about learning traditional and inspiring women who are already at home in the northern region. It's a very deprived community. I was able to stand up for myself to where I am currently due to the seminars and counseling sessions I have been. And so this is where that is why I'm here currently. That's why I chose the mega mentorship drive as my first project.
So you were mentored through seminars?
Yes.
You were mentored. That is where you met your mentors, or you were mentored through seminars. They are two different.
That is where I met my mentors.
Okay, so take me through your mentorship plan.
Okay. Now when we meet two women within the semester to take mentors, and so this is how it is going to go. I believe that leadership is transitional and government is about continuity. And so that is why I want to continue with this policy plan.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down. What you just yes. What you just shared with us is Jessica's plan. I want yours.
Okay.
I want your 1 year plan. How you can sustain this, your progress report, how you're going to get your progress report, your M&Es, your plan. I want yours, not Jessica's.
So currently, I work with EVE International. It is an initiative by India, and what we do currently is that we bring.
Is it her initiative?
Yes.
Or she is the patron?
It is her initiative. So currently, what we do is that from time to time we organize entrepreneurship skills. We have mentorship sessions where we invite women to come on board to talk to these ladies. After every session, what we do is that
you are telling me Eve's plan. I want your plan.
So that is
this is introduction.
Yes. And so with that, what we do is that we have a report session whereby reports are given about the ladies and what they went through. And so from this, I would also derive from her monitoring and evaluation policy, whereby we are going to have records of ladies, where they were when we met them, and where they are currently, or where they will be in the future. We'll be monitoring them from time to time. Say, for example, if we put them in your care, Madam Lucy, as the vetting chair. If we put them in your care as their mentor, you are supposed to give us reports from time to time on their progress. And so this is
before you continue.
Yeah.
That is a challenge I have with our mentorship.
Yeah.
So you need to officially inform me. I need to officially accept. Right? You need to monitor the process. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So in monitoring the process, it is not going to be done by their mentors only. I am going to be there. I have a team that is also going to be monitoring what they are doing, where we set the monitoring and evaluation committee. Their progress in whatever they are doing.
So you see, because I mentioned M&E, you are what is your M&E? You create the committee. That's excellent. Thank you.
What are the duties of a women's commissioner as stipulated?
So as stipulated in the Constitution, one duty of the women's commissioner is to harness the intellectual capacity of women so as to serve as agents of solutions to the problems around them. The women's commissioner is also supposed to serve as a link between women from other groups and women within the population to be able to strategize developmental policies for the progress of women in the association. Also, the women's commissioner is supposed to sponsor and support all women endeavors on campus.
in general,
Yeah.
what are the aims and objectives of the union?
So the aims and objectives of the union is to ensure that every child has the access to education.
And so you give a view on
And also to represent the Ghanaian students locally, nationally, and internationally.
we believe NUGS deals with structures.
Yes.
Do you know some of the structures?
Come again?
The structures.
The structures of NUGS. Yes, please. I believe that Congress is the highest decision-making body of the association, followed by of NUGS, followed by I know from the Constitution, and then followed by the Central Committee, and then to the National Executive Committee, down to the National Executive Officers, and then to the Secretariat.
And so Article 18 considers the blocks we have in NUGS.
Yeah.
Do you know any of them?
Yes, please.
Name those that you know.
Ta, Wasa.
Thank you very much. I am very much happy you mentioned that to be the first. I am very much interested in the people of Nigeria. All right. And so looking at your document in here, I see no signature of any education. Is there any reason for that?
So the reason is that as at the time I was signing my document, it was difficult getting access to them. And I needed to submit my
What do you mean by what difficult getting?
reaching out to them. I wanted to reach out to them personally in their school so that they can append their signatures because I can't do it on their behalf. But looking at the time limit as to when I have to submit my nomination document, it wouldn't favor, and so that's why I don't have any.
I don't see that as an excuse because all those who are already they were on campus. And so contacting them to get endorsement shouldn't have been a problem.
So I have a relationship with some of the forms from the tag and
Which one of them?
also okay, currently the WUCOM for St. Francis. Personally, I groomed her to even go through her process to win the elections. Yes, and currently I'm in connection with the Central and Western Sector WUCOM to also organize an online seminar for the current occurrence of killing between spouses. I am already in contact, which you can, if we want conversation, you can remember. Yes.
Now, I'm yet to go through your policy. I don't know if there is any project or policy that is in favor or in the interest of teachers.
Okay. So I have the Isanuduma policy or initiative, and then I have the Women in Tech policy. Most of our teacher training go through. We have ICT teachers who happen to be women, and so we are looking. I'm currently in collaboration with Vodafone to bring on board highly skilled engineers who will train them on the practical aspect of technology so that when they go to class, they can educate the students more on the technological. Also about the Isanuduma initiative. We can all access that. Most students are even dependent on school because we don't even get access to some of the loans that helps us to pay our fees. Looking at that, they are not even considering slashing of their allowances. Now this is Isanuduma is there to improve on their vocational and entrepreneurial skills so that even whilst in school they can be able to do something to fend for themselves, or even after school, these skills can be able to help them to make funds for themselves. As I'm speaking, I've experienced the Ghana Enterprise Agency entrepreneurial skills recently that was done, which I've even been called to that I've been qualified to the next session. And I think it's a very important thing that everybody should have within anybody within an entrepreneurial environment, or even someone who doesn't have entrepreneurial skills should have something like that so that you can also have the idea of what entrepreneurship is and you can be able to address your businesses once you start.
But how did you get the information? Who told you they are going to slash off?
Come again?
Who told you? And where does
So there have been instances where there have been news on TVs on if to do away, if to stop paying their allowances to them or to maintain it.
But it has not been finalized.
Yes, it has not been finalized.
Is it to say that you agree to the fact that they take it off?
No, I don't agree to that fact. That is because
You're talking. Okay. The fact that you want to explain.
I know you can talk, but he says thank you. Let's end it.
Okay. Thank you so much.
empowerment is encouraging women to do more than they are currently doing, or be better versions of what they are.
Encouraging women
Yes.
to do more. Okay. Now, looking at, you are saying that your paper.
And please, the definition for women empowerment again. So women empowerment is a process of, or is a way of encouraging women to be better versions of themselves, or to take up leadership mantles, or to contribute their quota to the society.
How different is women empowerment from feminism?
Okay. So women empowerment, I would say, from my perspective, is within feminism. Feminism,
So from what you are saying,
so feminism is a way of women coming together to push or advocate for equality within the gender, especially for women, on the side of women. And then women empowerment is within feminism. If we are able to push gender.
What is feminism? What is women empowerment? Don't me.
Okay. So feminism is advocacy for gender equality, and then
Which gender equality?
female. So and then women empowerment is a way of equipping women to be better versions of themselves.
This is the right place.
Okay. So I think that's very fine. But look at women empowerment. It just deals with making the person, putting them through. I'm able to let you know that you are aware of this. Then once you know that you are aware of that, you should have the ability to determine whatever vision you want to impact on as a person. And now you should also be able to determine what the social change that you want to impact on as a person. That's what social empowerment. Maybe you to identify what you are self-aware of, what you think you are aware of. That's the first one. Then you should also be able to identify some things that are within your domain and have a social change where you yourself can add it. Okay, now looking at the levels, your levels, you said to give a clear guideline on what I am expected to do as a secretary for women's involvement and what we are about. How does what you expect to relate with what you are about as a woman, secretary for women's involvement?
So what we are about is to inform the general public, especially women, on what we are doing within.
How does it relate what you are expected? How does it relate with what you are about?
Okay. So if I know what I am about, I will definitely know the right thing to do. And so it moves lines in line with each other, because if you don't know what you are about, you don't know your duty. You won't know what exactly to do at what particular time.
So you as a person now, you as Sandra Talata, how does what is expected of you? You are saying what is expected of you as a second women development. You as a person, how does that relate to what you are about?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Okay. So that is why I stated in my policies that I have 4 initiatives, which the first one is the mega mentorship drive, which I've already explained, and then I have the women in tech policy, and then I have the Isano policy and the stress-free internship.
Okay.
Yeah.
In your submissions, you read that you are from the north and you
Yeah.
appreciate that it's a deprived area. Yeah. I'm also a northerner, and I do appreciate that fact. You are saying that you are able to come this far based on the seminars you pass. There are some other ladies who equally pass through without following through this mentorship. Are you also in a way suggesting that without the mega mentorship drive, people will not be able to face out from the north?
So people would be able to try to get to wherever they want to be, and if they are determined to do it. But this mega mentorship drive is there to coach women on exactly what to do, know what they are about, and their self-worth, like you said. And so I do not agree. I won't clearly state or emphasize that without the mega mentorship drive, women will not be able to get to where they are going. Some people will be determined and would want to get to where they are going without coaching or any other mentorship. But this is also there to coach them and make them understand or have a clear view of what they are about to do and what they are about.
So don't you think that they need seminars and not mentors?
So
because your submissions, you said that it was in the process, or maybe through the engagement you had from seminars that gave the exposure to getting mentors. So I think that what actually helps you was the seminars. Don't you think that it's enough to meet somebody at the table once you have the exposure and not the mentor?
So I indicated on my policies that we are going to have the girls talk seminars and then we are going to have the mentorship training. So after this seminar, someone may go through a seminar and may forget whatever is being done there, or will find it difficult to be able to move accordingly in line with what they are being taught. But when you have a mentor, always all the time, even if you see her status, they'll call a message from her, you start flashback to whatever you've learned, and then you have an idea that this is what I'm about and I have to stay focused to achieve it. So
No idea.
no idea. No, I don't see difference.
Equity is the same as equality.
There is a slight difference.
But you didn't see any difference.
What's that slight difference?
So I believe that equality is giving people the same rights on the same scale, and I believe that equity is giving people a chance to also get to where they are going.
Which one do you support for women?
I believe in
Give me a practical answer.
so I believe I'll go for equity for women.
So support why? I'm sure you give me
With an instance or a scenario.
So in a scenario, there were
Decided case.
in a case of women for development, okay, women for development was a state or a situation whereby women stood up because they thought if we are being equipped or we are being sharpened, we can be able to contribute to development in the society. And so immediately they were given that help.
I'm trying to understand where you're
saying
taking
that.
You can drink water.
So
You're currently on the break. Don't make us fall.
Okay, so women for development, okay, in the state of women for development, if I am a woman and I'm calling for development, and I don't have the things that will help me to contribute my quota to development, how then do I succeed or achieve development? I don't, no way will I do it. But in a state where I have everybody coming on, but I have the men helping, I have women also at the top assisting, we can achieve development. That is where the he for she agenda comes in. Where a solidarity movement, we call on the men to assist us in whatever we do.
Thank you.
What has been your philosophy? But I have not accepted that.
Alright, it's true.
What has been your philosophy?
Because you've been here from the first person, right? That's what I think.
Come again.
What has been your philosophy?
My philosophy in please my
Leadership.
in leadership.
Leadership.
Okay. So in leadership, I believe in working together with people to achieve whatever you want to achieve. But in a situation where you are not getting result-oriented feedback from your people, you have to fall back to get a new team to continue.
How do you fall back?
So in instances where you are somebody who is always poised to achieve results for whatever mission you are embarking on, in a situation where you have people who are not reliable, people who are not proactive, and you talk to them and they still are the same people they are, you have to take a step back to see what you can do. If you have to get new team members who can help you to achieve whatever goal you want to achieve.
Okay, there's a follow-up.
So a follow-up to that question. So you are women's secretary for women's development.
Yes.
You would agree with me that you would work with all the other members of the secretariat.
Yeah.
So if the other members of the secretariat are not reliable, how do you fall back? Are you going to ask for another election, or you are simply going to forge ahead? Because your solution is that if the people you work with are not reliable, then fall back, create another team, and move forward. I foresee that you will create a lot of things.
Not at all.
I also foresee that you can't work in a team.
No, I'm a very good team player, which I have my executive
Oh,
members.
it's me.
I have my executive members from school, and they can clearly or can strongly attest to the
I am
fact
your
that
executive member from school. So let's leave the executive member from school aside. And I want her to answer the question from a practical point of view. So it's really a question for us to understand how you would deal with people, because as a leader you would have different kind of people when you work in a group. And so I just want to take your mind, and I want the people to understand how you would address your office in such situations.
as a leader, in a situation where I have a team that is not forthcoming, and I have a supervisor, I'll first meet my people
You don't have a supervisor.
If I don't have a supervisor, I'll first meet my people to have a collective conversation on what we can do, how we
had a
can.
collective conversation, they are still not getting results.
So in that situation, if I can change my team members, I'll opt for new team members. But if I can't change my team members, I'll move forward to achieving.
You work without them.
Yes, but I mean, working without them does not mean. Once you start working and some of them see the results coming out, they may want to join. Some people always want to start and then they follow along. Others, whether you start or you don't start, they don't follow along. And once you start, we will cite an example for the people who are being laid back to definitely join
Miss Mabel, I want to call you like that. Okay, so I have your speech for me. Yes, we're going to have a very short conversation on it. I must say for a fact that I'm impressed with everything on your the arrangement and everything. But in as much as I am impressed, I think there are little errors, especially with subject-verb agreements. So you need to check that.
Okay.
So with your personal skills, you said personal skills and then computer skills. Okay, so I'm interested in the computer skills. We have Word, Excel, PowerPoint. I'm taking you to Excel.
Okay.
How do you protect a cell in Excel?
How do you protect a cell in Excel?
Or are you a beginner?
I don't really have a detailed or much skill in ICT. I learned from my job.
I see with your trainings, seminars, and then workshops, attend the TV Ghana. I see Ghana's most beautiful beauty pageant TV program. What has Ghana's most beautiful done for you?
So, Degree Ghana Media General has been a very instrumental media house which has really shaped me to who I am. Going into GMB, I had no plan of what I was going to do. I had no idea of how huge that job was. Imagine achieving a target of 20,000 votes every week. How would you do that? And I had no team. But immediately I opted for that position. I went in there and I read their contract.
No team.
I had no team.
But I think you said you're a team player, so I mean.
So with GMB,
okay.
with GMB, when you are going there, you have no idea how it works because whatever happens there stays confidential.
But there's been GMB for I mean, a couple of years.
Yeah.
Now. So with something that you actually want.
I reached out to Portia Wegia on Instagram and she gave me a little idea. At that time, I didn't know the right people to put at a particular.
Are you into beauty pageant?
Yes, exactly. I'm into beauty pageant.
And you didn't know what Ghana's Most Beautiful was at the time?
I had no idea what it was. I just loved the idea that I used to watch it together with my father. I used to watch it together with my father. And the fact that I saw myself vote for everyone who comes, he doesn't care which region you belong to. Once you are doing well, he will vote for you. And then immediately I saw my father like it. One of my uncles used to call me Miss Ghana because when I was young I was very slim, I was not gaining weight and I didn't like it. And so she used to call me Miss Ghana. So immediately I saw my father also do it.
I think you have a very interesting story.
Yeah.
But let's put it there.
Let me ask you this. What is your link with politics and pageantry?
Politics and pageantry. So with a pageantry like Ghana's Most Beautiful, you definitely need all the stakeholders within your region to support you. And so it is important that you reach out to your MP, you reach out to your DC, you reach out to all the political heads, including your chiefs, and even down to the last person, to inform them of your aim there. Because you will come to your village to confirm if you are really a native of this town. So in reaching out to all these people, it helps TVQ and people within the town.
I'm not talking about you reaching out.
Yeah.
You. How is that link? How did you go from pageantry to politics? Is it for you to become? I don't want to give you options because I know what you can do. So how go? Not what you did with your pageantry, no. How is that link from pageantry to politics?
So even before pageantry, I was already into politics. At junior high school, I was a senior compound prefect. Then I had not involved myself into pageantry. Pageantry started for me in SHS. Even before even before me contesting for the first beauty pageant of my SHS, I was the senior girls prefect and the SRC vice president. And so I thought that pageantry was a platform to also put you up there to be able to get exposed to a lot of things to equip you to be able to move into the political front.
So you've always had a political ambition?
Yes.
It just came to equip you?
Yes.
Alright, Talata. Honestly, I must say it's impressive. Your control over the language, your content. The truth is, okay, before I come to that, when did you conceive the idea of running for NUGS? I want you to be very honest.
Okay. So my first conversation with the current NUGS secretary, Ms. Jessica, was somewhere on 26th of October.
She's not the NUGS secretary.
Secretary for Women's Development was on 26th of October 2020, where we had the Nufo here climax. 2022, where we had the Nufo here climax. Nufo here climax in my school.
Please, some decorum. We want to get the flesh of what she said.
When I collaborated with her to have a Nufo here breast cancer screening in school. And before she could even get to my school, I had already arranged everything, including setup and everything.
When did you conceive the idea of running for Secretary for Women's Development?
That moment,
which moment?
That moment I had the opportunity to meet her to have a conversation. I thought that being in Gimpa and
when did you conceive the
26th
idea
of October
of
2022.
Simple.
Okay.
Alright. What steps did you take towards realizing the dream? I only ask this because looking at your policies, you submitted 4 policies, okay? And I'm wondering, how thoughtful you have been in situating your thoughts in what you want to do within this 8 months. And before you answer that, you have not captured even 20% of your constituents based on the policies that you have submitted. And so now to my earlier question. Remember the question.
Please come again with the question.
What steps did you take towards realizing this ambition of becoming new secretary for women development?
So,
in relation to your policies.
So, in relation to my policies, this were some policies, some of the policies in there were policies already initiated on campus. And so, having the idea to and working with the current I realized that if I'm able to put this initiative up at NUGS, it will be easy to be achieved. And so these are policies that...
So, Talata, you realize, do you agree with me that your policy does not capture even 20% of your constituents? Reason being, your focus is on tertiary students. The farthest you can go is even with senior high school students, but almost everything in here is focused on tertiary students. And do you know, based on priority, what female students, that is from crèche right up to PhD level, are going through in this country? What is the latest issue affecting female students in Ghana that you are aware of?
So the latest issue affecting female students in Ghana, issue of century violence.
So you give me a policy on tech opportunity drive for ladies and some Rejuma initiative. They are fine, stress-free internship policy, mega mentorship drive. How does this address issues of these students who are, in general, even below the tertiary level, that forms the largest of their constituents?
Yeah.
And so that is why I asked, when you conceived this idea, whether you did any consultation to find out how you can affect some of the lives of these students. I feel you have a great platform to affect people's lives positively. By you limiting yourself here makes me fear that you are not necessarily targeting the essence for which this office was created. The students who matter the most at that level. Because if they do not go through that level, how do they get to the tertiary to come and have these initiatives that you have thought of? What do you say to that?
So I acknowledge the fact that you prompted me to my policies where I've taken out the issues of sanitary pad, which is a current issue that is
not just sanitary pads, several
other, but I want to focus on that.
No, I want you to focus on the broader perspective, girl child education as a whole.
Okay, so the fact that it is not in my policy does not mean it is something.
It's your priority.
Yes, it is.
You presented 4. You had the chance to present 1,000, but you chose 4.
So I presented the 4 because it is something that we can do even without funds. Okay, this is something that is achievable with even without funds. In issues of girl child education, we would have to now go seek scholarship and all other stuff.
No, I don't think you have to.
Not the fact that it is my priority to. The fact that
you think girl child education is important?
It's very, very much important.
You think basic school girl child education is important?
Very much important.
You think senior high level girl child education is important? And so why are they not on your priority?
So,
do you understand your work as Secretary for Women's Development?
Yes, I
That is NUGS at the national level.
Yeah.
You think your limitation ends at the border of university education?
Okay, it does not. But thank you for prompting me. I would once
No, this is not prompting. I'm saddened. And that is why I'm expressing it. I'm saddened because you have a very big platform to create a very huge impact. But it's not on your priority. And that is what makes me feel that because those primary school students are not going to vote for you, you don't think they are important to be in your policy. Because those senior high school children will have just about 10 or 15 people from regional association, you don't think they are important to consider.
It is important. It has always been a priority. Because my mother, something that you deem so important.
And then you have 4 chances.
So the fact that it is not there does not mean it's
No,
something.
you just reiterated the conversation of priority. And then now you are telling me that the fact that it is not your priority doesn't mean you won't work on it.
No,
but we are talking about priorities.
Okay. So I want to draw your attention to the fact that you don't see it on my policy document. That does not mean it is something that I have ignored. A Marble Care Foundation.
It is different from priority.
Good. Thank you. The Marble Care Foundation.
It is different from priority.
Yes.
So it's different from priority. Okay. The fact that you have ignored is different. You can't. If it is a priority, it will be your first on your policy, but it isn't. So I'm sure you're going to say that your foundation does.
Yeah.
But it's still not here.
Your
So is it a priority? Or you are just coming for this position and later on you will use our capacity to build on your personal goal?
No. If I wanted to build on my personal goal, I would still
You won't even come here.
Yes, exactly.
You have to be there.
No, not because of that. Because
I mean, what are we doing? Who are we?
What are we?
What can we do for you? If you want, I mean, who are we? What can we do?
So, Madam Chair, if you would permit me, I want to put it on record that it is an oversight that I have not put that on my policy. But Marble Care Foundation is a foundation that is centered on women advocacy. And girl child education was even my project even at GMB.
Wow.
Where
Because you were at GMB.
Yes, exactly.
TV3 could do something for you. We can't do anything for you.
Yeah,
So
especially
you
those
didn't think
children.
that there was any need for you to bring it here. That is it.
Yeah.
It was because you were at GMB. You had a higher platform.
I disagree.
This is not a platform for you. So you are just doing, we don't even have money. That is why you chose this policy that you don't need funding. That is what you said.
No. So
So
the
it is
point,
not a priority to you.
the point I'm trying to put across is that
Honestly, I don't want you to keep explaining yourself because you keep taking us to the point where NUGS is actually that. I think you think that you are going to accumulate NUGS.
no, that is not the case. So, not to say that NUGS is nothing. Of course, NUGS holds students in Ghana. Without NUGS, students all across the country would be vulnerable because we won't have people to speak for us. But I want to put a point across that with the exposure I have had, I feel NUGS is a bigger platform where I can be able to fit in to impact more lives in the society.
It's a lot of because it keeps, for me, it keeps getting worse.
Yes.
Because everything that you said points to the fact that you have a rare opportunity to create an impact in this area that I'm asking you about. The fact that you have a foundation that does work surrounding some of these issues, and the fact that you feel because these policies do not need funding, they are your priority. And so when issues come up, and then the girl child at Nalerigu or Sri, where I spent a very wonderful time at, does not go to school because she does not have napkins to go. The fact that you need money before you can help means that you will not even bother helping. Because you mentioned that these 4 policies, you got them as your priority because you do not need funding to achieve them. But most of these critical issues, you need funding. You need to use your platform to raise awareness and get people to support. And so if you come campaigning to 12 million students, expecting that policies targeting just about 4 to 5 million or even 3 million should still use to, and I don't see the relevance you place from this office and the impact that you want to make with this office. Do you agree with me? No, let's be frank. Let's talk in politics. You agree with me? So why would you do that? Why do you think we should even give you this platform? Because in the first place, you've proven beyond doubt that you really do not have the interest of the people, the majority of your constituents at heart.
So, thank you. I like the fact that you've been able to draw my attention. Corrections have been made here. In as much as I'm here to be better in my knowledge about this and my position, I'm
So you
also
didn't know
here to
about that?
learn as well.
You didn't know that primary school children, girls are part of the war with you. You didn't know about that.
The wives, that's why I said I am
Okay,
also
let
here to
me
learn.
because I'm secretary to the vet.
The wives, that is why I'm saying that in as much as I'm here to be vetted on my portfolio and then about NUGS. I'm also here to learn. So I like the fact that you've educated.
I don't need to educate you on the fact that primary school children are part of, they fall under education. You've had too much experience and exposure to demand that, imagine me being told that university students are under my umbrella. Imagine. You know where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
That is sad. That's negligence on my part. And I feel I wouldn't be in the right place to want to lead university students in Ghana if I have to be reminded that university students fall within my program.
Thank you.
You get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's sad. Don't thank me, it's sad. And for us, we will score based on that. Because that shows us your true intent. See, the English, we've all been in this game. We will speak a lot of English, but that is the true intent of your aspiration. It is not about your consequence. You are not here because of your consequence. You are here because you need an office to occupy. And in needing that office, it is
I said no.
It is going to build on your political aspirations. It's nice to say that you were NUGS Secretary for Women's Development. When you become minister.
Currently, what's your position?
Empowerment Commissioner.
Big position. Very, very big one.
Yeah, you are paid.
Yeah, you are
Agreed
paid.
Women's Commission. So after this, I'm sure you want to go for MP.
Yes.
You want to go for it?
MP. You want to contest for MP.
Yes.
So-
Now, collect the contributions right now.
Obviously, it's an unenviable position, and I would definitely run for it if the chance.
So I should collect the contributions.
I also want to be appointed as the Minister for Gender.
Definitely.
And president.
So you know, you get where we are coming from.
Yeah.
I think you just want to come and use it.
President's wife.
No.
And we are happy we know your intent.
No. My main
The
intention.
students are listening.
My main intention is that due to my contribution to GEMPA women, which I currently have about 5 ladies I am mentoring, I feel GEMPA is a very limited space, and why not?
Talata, okay, I want to know your stand, your opinion on some of these issues. Some of them you mentioned, so that is why I'm just inquiring. What's your thoughts on women and body positivity?
Women and body positivity.
Yeah.
Can you please, if you...
What is your thoughts? Women and body positivity.
So,
No, you use that word, remember, that's a clause or a phrase. A clause. You use that too. I'll give you things, so please start.
So, I would be happy if you can elaborate or break.
That's it. That's the question. All right. So you have no idea. You don't know how to link the two. Okay. Gender-based violence.
Gender-based violence. Okay. So, gender-based violence has been an issue that has been occurring for some time now, and within a short space of 3 months, we've had most cases where men and women are killing each other. But I don't think, as human as I am, I don't see why I should be violent towards a brother or a sister, no matter the situation, what it is.
Do you think gender-based violence happens at any level of your constituents, to any of them?
Of course, it does.
Between gender-based violence advocacy and stress-free internship policy, which one do you think is more important?
Gender-based violence.
Thank you. All right. That's a clap. I'm surprised. I'm surprised you are clapping.
He doesn't have your document.
That's a clap. Wow. Okay. So she's admitted. What do you think about the phrase women are their own enemies?
So there's this notion that women are our own enemies. But I beg to differ, because currently I see instances where women push each other to get to the top. Currently, as we speak now, there are so many women advocacy groups or organizations that are trying as much as possible to push themselves to the top. And so the idea of women are their own enemy is now becoming a thing of the past. So I think now women are helping each other to become better or to contribute more to the society. And so that idea now is becoming a thing of the past.
Support it is.
Yeah.
Support each other. I think you should clap for that. I think okay, so the wife's Miss Talata, I'm actually delighted to see you here. For me, I have a personal experience of your hard work and what you've been able to achieve within the period of the year that you took over office as women's commissioner at Gimpa. And I think that your input there has been phenomenal. In fact, I did not expect any less of an engagement today. I must say that you've made Gimpa proud. However, there are a few issues that we will still have to address. There are a few issues that we still have to address. So, in your submissions, there was a discussion that we had about women empowerment and feminism, right? That was what you have put on paper. You would agree with me that as a secretary for women's development, you would understand that the coining of your name presupposes that you are supposed to develop women. You're supposed to develop women in all spheres of their life. Women are able to take on leadership roles. Women are financially empowered. Women get opportunities or get equitable opportunities when they are doing or embarking on anything. Now, unfortunately, like Dr. Anderson has mentioned, it appears that we don't see that here. I want to do a few specifics, and I want to take your thoughts on what the current situation of women, and merge that with discussing affirmative action, if you could. Your thoughts on women in leadership and what your office would do, to be very specific.
Okay.
There are three things: women empowerment, and there's the gap in women in leadership, and what your office would do to address those things.
So with the case of women empowerment and what my office would do to address issues of that sort, we can all attest to the fact that women are now trying or contributing more to society. We can take our own Rwanda as an example, where we have their parliamentary candidates, most of them
are. You want to take water? Your voices.
We can use our own African country, Rwanda, as an example, where most of their parliamentarians are women. And we can see how Rwanda is doing progressively well.
Yes, so I want to understand what your office intends to do about the deficit we have. How are you going to positively affect the numbers?
So that is why I stated that we are going to have seminars and mentorship. And this is going to groom ladies, encourage them, and make them understand or see a reason why women's development or women's contribution to development in the country is important.
Don't you think that we should have a more equitable approach to bringing women to those stages?
Of course.
So it is that equitable approach I want to hear. Because what you have said here is pretty much English. What you said here is pretty much English. I want you to walk us through a set, demonstrate to us. I'm giving you an opportunity to demonstrate to the about 8 million Ghanaians students that you didn't capture in the document, that this is what you intend to do to affect them positively. Because there's some lady in Wale, wherever, that's listening to you now and wants to know what exactly you're going to do to affect her life?
So with this issue, we are looking forward to reaching to people, especially in areas like Waliwali and Wa, to sensitize them critically on their self-confidence, self-worth, and why they should be involved in leadership, taking up leadership role. Because most of these people within areas like Waliwali and Wa do not understand the essence of education, or do not properly
Do you agree with me that that idea is very capital intensive?
It is.
But at the start of a conversation on policies, one of the reasons why you declined having certain ideas on your policy documents was because it was capital intensive, or that you did not think we would have the funding for it. So what is your proposition for funding?
So that is why I said that currently I'm in talks with Eve International. Then if I'm giving the nod or not, I'm going to support to ensure they are going to collaborate with the Secretary for Women's Development to ensure that we reach out to these ladies and girls in those areas.
Do you have you done a feasibility study of the? Sorry, there are some of the things that when you start, it seems that the answers have already come to the table.
Yeah.
So where you're heading towards. I'm just trying to give you direct to you.
Yeah.
So have you done a feasibility studies of the numbers? So to reach, say, the upper part of the country, there are about, say, maybe, top of my head, I'm just giving you a hypothetical situation, 2 million girls and 500,000 of them are in schools that are deprived. Yes, like give me numbers and then let's know how much Eve, like we have spoken to them, is willing to support it.
So
what do you think the entire budget is?
So we'll take a school like Congo Junior High School in my district, where that's where I've personally been to sensitize the girls. In a class of about 50, we have just about 20 ladies. The rest are men, and that is because most of these ladies are in their houses. Some personally do not want to come to school and get married, and so I spoke to Eve, especially about the Juma, where Eve decided that we can produce share butter making machines for them. If those who are not interested in education, we can give them that aspect for them to know. They do share butter, we export, that brings money to them.
Do you think that children under a certain age should be engaged in such activities? Because you're speaking about a primary school.
Can you please be specific with the age?
So you're speaking about a primary school.
Yeah.
The average age in a primary school would not be more than 15,
yes,
thereabouts. The average age the average age will not be more than 15 years. Let's say the average age will not be 18 years.
So I think it is important we involve them, because the earlier they get to know the job and how it is done, they grow with it. And so when they are growing, this is something they can be doing.
Don't you think you're rather depriving them of an opportunity for formal education? Because I do not think that making of share butter is bad. I think that before they go into that space, perhaps they should have enjoyed some level of formal education. If you give someone formal education, a person ventures into a business, you realize that the way the person conducts the business is different from a person who has not had any formal education.
So I think that there is, in education, there is a formal education and informal education. We can also attest to the fact that there are people who have gone through the informal education process and they are being given tutorials on how to run their businesses.
Yeah, but I personally think that involving kids in the making of share butter at the expense of giving them formal education is almost like engaging them in child labor. I mean, as a gender activist,
yeah,
you should know that you do not engage children of a certain age in economic activities.
Yeah.
So while it might appear that it is a thing you can do, it doesn't sit well within the context of what you as a gender activist want to achieve. I mean, as a gender activist, don't you think that child labor is not something you should be promoting?
So stating from the Constitution of Ghana, it is indicated that you cannot, a child within the ages of 1 to 16 cannot be allowed into certain things.
In the Constitution of Ghana?
Yes.
Would you be
No,
mindful to provide the provision? Because you must state an authority if you refer to the Constitution.
Yes, the Constitution is a reference document, but I don't think I do. I have
The Constitution. And you are very sure that if I open the Constitution, there's a provision that says 1 to 16?
Yes, please.
We should not be engaged in the Constitution?
Yes, please.
Okay, don't worry. Don't worry, we'll do that exercise.
So that I think that we can look at children from 18, they are not children, but we can look at people girls from 16 years to above. And we won't restrain them from formal education. They can have education from Monday to Friday, formal education from Monday to Friday. And then on a weekend, maybe on a Sunday or a Saturday, we can take 2 hours or 3 hours of their time, just to take them through the entrepreneurship process. Because now we can all attest the fact that you cannot live with your corporate business, corporate work alone.
Mr. Latta, I think that while you are wrapping us, what you must come to understand is that perhaps this policy document, I mean, ideas are fine, but this policy document does not need a lot of work. That is the issue. It needs a lot of work.
Okay. What he's saying is you scored.
Yes,
okay.
But for a lot of things, you've really demonstrated that you can do the job. I only think that you need to look at this and consider your constituents very well. The last question I would have to ask, because it's a duty. I can't even run away from your duty. The last question is whether you qualify for this office.
Yes.
Do you know the qualification for the office?
Yes, it states that you should be completing school and awaiting vocational service.
Yeah, it's the other way around. You're stating the provision the other way around. It says that you should be a national service personnel who is immediately completing. Yeah, not that you should be completing school and so if you read that provision, you qualify.
Yeah.
How do you qualify?
Because I just completed.
Are you a
national service person?
I've already done my national service.
You've already done your
Yes.
Okay.
I did diploma in public administration before you at Technical University.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did my national service. I offered my.
You know why you are smiling, right?
Because the national service personnel that is here is a person who is immediately completing school and going into a national service, not one who has done the national service already. Would you think you still qualify?
Yes, I do.
You do.
How do you qualify?
How so?
You've not answered this question.
I do because I am immediately completing school.
That is one leg.
That is one leg. The other.
And
You shall be a national service person.
But if you're, I didn't hear what you said, but if you're not able to answer this question, I'll really be disappointed. Honestly, I'll have to change my scores.
oh yeah.
I'll have to change my scores.
She's giving you very beautiful scores. If she changes it, you are in
No,
trouble.
honestly, how do you fit into the column of national service personnel?
How do I?
Yes. Are you one?
No, I'm not a national service.
So do you qualify for this position?
Yes, I do.
How do you qualify?
I qualify because I'm immediately completing school.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
The other one?
And that's because I've already offered my national service.
No. No.
Don't give her a
Let me have my
Don't give her a
No.
Relax. She will answer the
No,
question.
no. The way you have been able to answer questions here,
It is actually Article 21.
I think
21A.
I'm disappointed.
To 1 a.m.
So I was going to ask you a very brilliant question. I know you have given me a very brilliant answer, but
The question was for you to score a lot more marks.
you don't know how you qualify for this position. You don't know.
Madam Chair,
You
please,
are
I'm not.
immediately completed.
Yeah.
21.
Are you a national service personnel?
Yes.
How? Don't give me the I did my national service. No, don't give me that. How are you a national service personnel?
So once you complete school, you complete a tertiary, you automatically qualify to do your national service.
How?
How?
How do you automatically qualify?
That's you have given your service to the nation. That's if you have
Pressure found. Because this question, if you don't answer, I'll be very disappointed. Honestly. What break?
Do you want,
said what break?
do you want a drink?
No, I'm a bit stressed because I was taking the ladies for Face of NUGS through their interview stages.
Hey, madam.
stages.
We've been offering service to Lucy.
Madam, hello, that's what this is. Oh, nah, don't do that. How? You've completed, right?
Yeah.
You are left with the graduation.
Yeah.
So how do you qualify for that leg?
I acknowledge the presence of my senior.
How? Have you not started the process?
A national service process? No.
You've not started.
But the school would soon take your IDs and submit them to the secretariat.
So I am not submitting my IDs to the secretariat because I can only offer my national service process.
So you won't even do your national service?
I've already done my national service.
So that means you won't, this year you won't do a national service?
But you know you can.
Initially, you can do your national service as many times as you want. But due to the digitalization, you can't do your national service. That's if you want to do your national service again, and if you are going to do a complete service-free job, which you are not going to be paid by.
And that's you won't do?
Oh, of course I'll do it.
All right.
Anyways, that's all of the question.
Okay, so I was going to ask you this question. I changed my mind, but he still saying I should ask you.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you.
It's another
But
one.
you've disappointed me.
It's another one to raise.
So I think you've done well. So why not contest for next person? Please drink water. And I know why I'm saying this. Don't give me something that will make me just collect another. Why not next person?
So I could have opted for the position of the NUGS president, but the position of the Women's Commissioner is something that I have worked with. It's a job that I have done, and I have qualified in my line of job. And so, because GIMPA was a limited space, I thought NUGS would be a bigger platform. And so that is why I chose the position of the Secretary for Women's Development and not the president, because I still want to encourage and motivate more women out there.
Can I tell you something?
No, not coming doing family.
No, I'm not doing family. I just
I'm
wanted
coming.
to.
So you mean that your focus is only on women?
That is what my position focuses on.
No, I'm not talking about you as Talata.
Yeah.
Your focus is only on women. Your career goal, your long-term goal is only on women.
It's not only on women, but women are my priority. They are the main reason why I'm opting for this position.
Men are less priority.
I can concentrate on men to offer
You
a help.
can, or you will, or you want to. Yeah,
I want to, because in situation currently now we have women's commissioners offices that are transitioning into diversity officers.
Gender.
Yes, that is including men into whatever they
So are you inclusive?
Yes, I am inclusive.
So why not lose president?
So
because if you are inclusive, then you're not focusing on only women. So why not lose president?
So,
because we have seen a lose president at Lufo here,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And we have seen him at basic school.
Yeah.
So that means he's advocating for all. And if you want to do gender advocacy, it is not just for women.
Yeah.
I think we need to establish that. So why not lose president?
I still stand on the reason for opting for the position of the Secretary for Women's Development, because, like we spoke about equity, I'm looking forward to helping women who are deprived and don't have the platform that I have. I'm looking forward for to impacting more women out there. Because we just spoke about women in leadership, the fact that we have a very limited number of women in leadership. I'll be very happy someday to sit somewhere and see that little girl I inspired back there at Zwanrungu as the vice president or the president somewhere. And so I am choosing the Secretary for Women's Development because I want to impact more women and I want to see them get to the top. Because if Rwanda has done it now and they have much women as parliamentary members, why can't Ghana do it? And so this is what I'm after.
Mr. Lata, before you leave, you see, while all that you have said is impressive, exactly, is impressive, is that you do not qualify to contest for the office of president.
Okay.
You don't qualify. You see, back end, you were not supposed to do.
Yeah.
So if you don't qualify for president, you qualify for who? So really, the answer was yes.
Even though I have the capacity, I do not qualify.
The answer was less than a sentence. Or it was a sentence. I do not qualify for which. I'm running for women's position. You see,
No. I don't want to engage you, but that's
the answer was intended, the question was intended to elicit something.
okay. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Oh, sure. You have gifts for us.
So I want to also appreciate the panel for teaching me or making me know certain things that I didn't know from the competition. And I must acknowledge that you're doing a very good job. Because in as much as
the conversation is mutual.
And also sit back and watch at BTC officials GH.
Okay.
BTC officials GH on YouTube. Your interviewer is there. Hey, who now ever get?
The wisest says I should tell you that you are the new chairman. We're just using the word.
You're calling me.
All right. People, I'm supposed to. Hi, age. I like your smile. Keep smiling like that, spirit. Don't mic him yet. You have to go back to the quarantine room. I've been called for a meeting on a few issues coming up. So yes. So I would plead that don't mic him. I'll plead that you go back to the quarantine room. I'll be back. Give me 20 minutes. So
So should I end the live stream? It will be better.
So please.
I mean, you can believe how you see the vetting. You are asking more questions. Like the audience.
So I'm starting to. Please, Oh, sit down, relax. As vet.
One stop it.
Yeah.
You still you can't hold it like this. Okay.
I think we should go on break. I'm in charge of phone better. You get it?
Stopping it. So you have to interview some people. How is it going?
Yeah.
To really, when you're supposed to really. Question may not be so.
Oh, how did we see it? How did they see the camel and other stuff?
All okay. So what are you going to ask? You can talk to someone. Come to this boy.
Okay, let's go to the guy in shoes. The guy in shoes. Hello, boss. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a quick interview with you. Senior, don't run. All right, so you've been here since morning. Were you here yesterday? Do you mind telling us your name? Are you here to support anybody? Cool. Okay, so this is upon Kofi Emmanuel. He's here to support a presidential aspirant called K.O. the Chairman Daniel. And how will you review the vetting process so far, considering the questions of the judges and the vetting process?
What was the picture?
Can you speak up?
It's an excellent one. Which I mean, students, morality and their competence in leadership. And aside that, National Union of Ghanaian students need leaders who help the students in development. And also aside that, we need
All right, so he thinks that the vetting panel has been doing a yeoman's job because the position of NUGS cannot be taken for granted. Thank you very much for speaking to us. You can go watch yourself on DTC Official GH on YouTube. So, can we speak to this lady? Hello, madam. Yeah, you're welcome. I've seen that you've been here since morning. What's your name? And are you here to somebody? I mean, there's a personal. All right, so your name? Sappho Christina. And are you here to support somebody or you are just here to lead the vetting? Oh, okay, you were here for the aspirant who just left, that is Talata for the reform. All right, so how will you judge her? Whatever you say is an opinion, it is not subjected to the panel's marks. So how will you judge her performance and the questions from the panel? Okay, so she thinks that the questions were right on point and she also delivered excellently. That is her routine for Talata, who is a women's commissioner aspirant. So yes, thank you very much for speaking to us. Log on to DTC Official to subscribe. Let's go speak to my dear lady. Oh, why is she leaving? We are coming to you. Oh, what are you doing? But anyways, please, let's speak to Ransford. Thank you. Hello, Honorable Ransford. Thank you for coming here. Ransford is an executive, the Secretary for Education of the National Union of Ghana Students. And very soon, right after the vetting and the electoral process, Ransford will be handing over. What do you have to say to Ghanaian students regarding the vetting and the aspirants that are coming in? Kindly speak to the camera for us.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the opportunity. I think that it's been a good process so far. And almost all I think the protocols and whatever the constitution says, it's been adhered to. I'm sure the best is yet to even come as far as the vetting is concerned. I'm sure the capabilities of all the vetting panel have been put together, and we've seen that, I mean, beyond what we expected, we are going beyond those marks. All I can say is that we need the best from them, and we believe so well that in as much as they're giving out their best, to a larger extent, we will get the best for the union.
The level where we want to go to. Alright, so taking the Secretary for Education is saying in as much as they are doing well, they somehow they want the best for the union and nothing but the best because looks cannot be taken for granted. Thank you for coming, Mr. Ransford Tege, and we applaud your services to the Ghanaian students from PhD to the crèche level. Alright, so